Hormonal changes during menopause can affect your metabolism significantly. The decline in estrogen has been associated with changes in fat distribution, often leading to an increase in abdominal fat. And this can have implications for your metabolic health and for insulin sensitivity. Are you finding the post-menopausal changes difficult to navigate? Does it feel like nothing that you do to manage your weight works anymore, and you're struggling to stay motivated because of the slow or non-existent progress? Then this one's for you, as we'll be looking at what it takes to optimize health and weight management post-menopause, as well as how to keep motivated through what can be a challenging journey. Hello, wonderful listeners, and welcome to another episode of the Thriving Metabolism. I'm Louise Digby, your host and registered nutritionist, here to guide you through a topic that holds immense significance for many incredible women out there: the post-menopausal weight loss journey. Whether you've experienced it yourself or you've seen the changes happen to female friends or relatives, you're probably aware that weight management can become a really challenging time in midlife. And it can feel like a real battle because the diets that used to keep you in shape no longer work and also become more and more challenging to follow. And it can feel like you're working against your body. In today's episode, we'll dive into the common challenges faced by post-menopausal individuals in their weight loss journey and explore the power of motivation and maintaining a positive mindset during this transformative phase of life. So make sure you stay tuned until the very end, because I'll be sharing details of an exciting contest that you can enter. So let's start by shedding light on some of the challenges that many women experience during post-menopause, from metabolic changes to hormonal fluctuations impacting mood and energy levels, and also the societal pressures surrounding body image. It's certainly a multifaceted journey. Firstly, metabolic changes. It can be quite a significant change during the post-menopause. As women age, there's a natural decline in metabolic rate. And this means that the body may burn calories at a slower pace, making weight management more challenging. And understanding and addressing these changes is crucial for developing effective strategies. The decline in your metabolic rate, especially as you age, is a complex physiological phenomenon influenced by several factors. Here are some of the key reasons why metabolic rate tends to decrease. First of all, we've got loss of lean muscle. One of the primary contributors to metabolic rate is your muscle mass. And as people age, there is a natural tendency to lose lean muscle mass, a process which is known as sarcopenia. Muscle tissue requires more energy or calories to maintain than fat tissue does. That means that a reduction in muscle mass leads to a decrease in the overall metabolic rate. Then we've also got hormonal changes. Hormones play a crucial role in regulating your metabolism. During the aging process, there is a decline in certain hormones, including growth hormone and testosterone, which are involved in maintaining muscle mass and influencing your metabolic activity. In women, menopause results in a significant decrease in estrogen, impacting your metabolism and also contributing to changes in your body composition. Now, there's also cellular changes. So the efficiency of the cellular processes tends to decrease with age. So your mitochondria They're often referred to as the powerhouses of your cells. They play a role in energy production. As cells age, there can be a decline in the number and the function of your mitochondria. And that affects the overall metabolic efficiency. Next, we've got inactivity. And sedentary lifestyles can contribute to a decrease in metabolic rate. So regular physical activity, especially resistance training, helps to build and preserve muscle mass, which in turn supports a higher metabolic rate. So lack of exercise can accelerate the loss of muscle tissue and lead to a decline in your metabolism. Next, we've got nutritional choices. So your dietary habits will influence your metabolism. And a diet lacking in essential nutrients or one that does not provide sufficient protein can contribute to muscle loss and a slower metabolic rate. And then when you add to that extreme calorie restricted diets, these can really signal to your body to conserve energy. And that further slows down your metabolism. We can put our bodies into starvation mode by not eating enough and restricting too much. Then we've got genetic factors. Your genetics definitely play a role in determining an individual's metabolic rate. Some people may have a naturally faster or a naturally slower metabolism because of their genetic makeup. While genetics set the baseline, your lifestyle factors can still significantly influence your metabolic rate. So even if you've got family members who have followed a certain pattern with their weight or their health, that does not mean that you are destined to follow that same path. What you do, what you eat, how you live very much impacts which genes are switched on or switched off. So it is still very much within your control, even if you have obesity genes, for example. It may be a bit more challenging for you to manage your weight if you do have obesity genes compared to someone who doesn't, but it is still achievable for you to manage your weight. So I think understanding these factors is really crucial for developing strategies to really mitigate the impact of age-related metabolic decline. So engaging in regular physical activity, particularly strength training, maintaining a balanced and nutrient-rich diet, and adopting a healthy lifestyle can help to support your metabolic health as you age. Now, hormone fluctuations are another key aspect, and the decline in estrogen levels can really impact your mood and your energy levels. Many women experience symptoms like fatigue, irritability, and mood swings, and these hormonal changes can make it challenging to stay motivated and focused on your weight loss journey. Now, estrogen is a crucial hormone that plays a central role in regulating the menstrual cycle and supporting various physiological functions. During menopause, the ovaries gradually produce less estrogen, and the decline in estrogen, it's a hallmark of menopause, and it has really widespread effects on the body. So alongside the decline in estrogen, there is also a reduction in progesterone levels. Progesterone is another hormone produced by the ovaries, and it plays a role in preparing the uterus for pregnancy. Its decline contributes to changes in the uterine lining and the cessation of menstrual cycles. Hormonal changes during menopause can affect your metabolism significantly. The decline in estrogen has been associated with changes in fat distribution, often leading to an increase in abdominal fat. And this can have implications for your metabolic health and for insulin sensitivity. It's important to note that the hormonal changes during menopause are a natural part of the aging process. While they can bring about challenges and symptoms, many women navigate this phase successfully with proper medical guidance, lifestyle adjustments, and in some cases, hormone replacement therapy or HRT under the supervision of healthcare professionals. But understanding these hormonal changes is crucial for developing effective strategies to manage the physical and the emotional aspects of menopause. I think the key takeaway here is that your body's physiology changes significantly. And that doesn't mean that you've just got to put up with the effects of those changes. You just need to adapt your food and lifestyle habits accordingly so that they complement your body's needs and you're working with your body. The typical diets and intense workouts that perhaps used to work are no longer going to align with your body's needs, and you'll actually be working against your body. Beyond the physiological aspects, societal pressures can certainly cast a shadow on a woman's self-image. There's a pervasive cultural emphasis on youth and beauty, often reinforcing very unrealistic standards. Post-menopausal women might feel the weight of societal expectations, and that might lead you to feeling like you've got more self-doubt and more body image concerns. And I think it's really important that we recognize and challenge the external pressures to foster a healthier mindset. I think we need to be quite deliberate about protecting ourselves, protecting our self-worth and our self-image, because it's so easily damaged by the constant exposure to edited and distorted images of what real people look like. And that pressure to look a certain way can make us feel like we need to get the weight off by any means necessary. And it might contribute to us making less than ideal choices, ones that are more focused on calories as opposed to nourishing and repairing, even when we know better. The stress of that pressure also works against us, disrupting our hormones further. So far, we've been talking about what you need to do, but that's only half the battle. The real results will come from staying consistent in your efforts and remaining motivated. And more patience is definitely needed post-menopause because the shift in hormones does typically make weight loss slower. The more targeted your approach, the better your results will be. But you've got to have realistic expectations. Whereas you may have been able to drop several pounds per week when you're in your 20s, that is just not realistic post-menopause in most cases. And it's not healthy either. Even when you're in your 20s, you can't actually burn fat that quickly. So for someone who is losing more than 2 to 3 pounds per week, you're probably actually losing water and muscle and just a little bit of fat. So losing 1/2 to 1 pound, or if you work in kilograms, 1/4 to 1/2 a kilogram each week, that's much more realistic and healthy. But I would actually suggest that you don't focus too much on the scales for so many reasons. Firstly, I've worked with so many women who see their waistlines decrease significantly and consistently, but the scales don't really move. And they get so demoralized, even though their clothes fit better or they go down a dress size. They're so clearly making progress, but they get derailed and they consider giving up because the scales aren't reflecting that. And that can happen for lots of reasons. If you're gaining muscle while losing fat, then the scales won't budge much. And when you're carrying extra weight, your body actually holds a lot of water outside of your cells. And it can be difficult for your cells to actually be hydrated enough. We actually see this on the scales that do an assessment for your body water level. And when your cells become healthier, you start carrying more water within your cells rather than as water retention outside of your cells. While you do lose a lot of water weight initially when you go on a diet, you actually gradually regain water weight in a much healthier way over time. Another reason why the scales don't reflect your efforts is because of poop. Now, you can very easily be a bit backed up without realizing it. And even if you have still been having a bowel movement daily or whatever your regular schedule is, you can easily have 1 to 2 pounds of fecal matter weighing you down. Then you have an extra bowel movement or two the following week, and suddenly you're lighter, but you can't figure out why. You can't figure out what you did differently, right? So please stop obsessing over the scales. Start focusing on how you feel. That will be so much more motivating. Now, another key part of staying motivated on this journey is really building a support system. Connecting with others on a similar journey, both online or locally, can help you to feel like you're not alone. No matter how supportive your partner or your kids may be, connecting with others who have been through or who are going through what you're going through helps you to feel a little bit less like you're on your own and losing your mind. And speaking of communities, I'd like to take a moment to mention our lovely community, the Metabolism Rehab. This is a place where you can find support, inspiration, and share your own experiences. You can join us on Facebook using the link in the show notes. Okay, let's talk about celebrating success. Recognizing and celebrating your achievements along the way is really crucial. It's really easy to say that we'll celebrate when we reach our goal weight, but that can feel a really long way off. Making small goals and also non-weight related goals and then being very intentional about celebrating them is critical. I think it's a good idea to celebrate your efforts as well as your achievements. So for example, let's say that you've managed to consistently for 2 months, maybe you've attended 80% of the yoga classes that you intended on going to. And maybe you wrote yourself a meal plan and stuck to it 80% of the time over these past couple of months. So that is well worth celebrating. Do what you've got to do to celebrate. Book yourself a massage, get your hair done, book a day off and plan a day out or whatever feels like a nice treat for you. I would suggest avoiding food-based treats here. Celebrating your efforts will give you the boost you need to keep going, and it will make the journey much more enjoyable. Because after all, if you want to keep the weight off long term, you need to enjoy the journey and the process of getting the weight off and optimizing your health. If you don't enjoy it, you're not going to be able to keep that up. So as we wrap up, I encourage you to embrace your post-menopausal weight loss journey with a positive mindset. There's a lot of negativity out there when it comes to menopause, and it can feel like it's all downhill from 50 sometimes, but it really isn't. I've seen so many women in their 50s feel better than ever and really begin a new chapter. And if they can do it, then you absolutely can do it as well. With the right mindset and the right support, you've definitely got this. But before we say goodbye, I have something really exciting to share. We're launching a special contest to hear your stories. It's all about sharing your journey and inspiring others and building a community of support. So whether you've been on a health journey that you want to share to inspire others, via me interviewing you on the podcast, or perhaps you need guidance and you'd be happy to be coached on the podcast, then It's really easy to enter this contest. All you have to do is leave a review on iTunes by the 11th of February. Just share how this podcast has helped you on your weight loss journey. Then send a screenshot to me of your review, and you can do that by emailing it to louise@louisedigbynutrition.com, or you can send the screenshot to me via a direct message on Facebook or Instagram. And you can find me by searching at Louise Digby Nutrition. So make sure you enter if you would like the opportunity to either inspire others or be coached and get some guidance for yourself. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you found some inspiration and valuable insights. By the way, I'd love to know which platform you are listening to this on. Is it Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, or a different one? Let us know by liking, commenting, and following, or ping me a message on Instagram and let me know. And your feedback and questions and suggestions for future episodes are always welcome. So feel free to ping me a message if you'd like me to cover a particular topic. Thanks again for listening, and I'll see you next time.